Welcome to the Victor Valley College Performing Arts Center. Please take this opportunity to silence your cell phone. Photography of any kind and video recordings are not allowed during this production. Thank you for your cooperation.
He married, hath referred herself unto a poor but worthy gentleman. She's wedded, her husband banished, she imprisoned, all is outward sorrow, though I think the king be touched at very heart.
None but the king?
He that hath lost her too, so is the queen that most desired the match, but not the courtier, although they wear their faces to the bent of the king's looks. Have a heart that is not glad at the thing they scowl at.
Why so?
He that hath missed the princess is clean too bad for battle court, and he that hath her, and he that married her, alack good man, and ever banished is a creature such as, to seek through the regions of the earth for one his like, there would be something failing in him that should compare. I do not think so fair and outward, and such stuff within endows a man but he.
You speak him far.
I do extend him within himself, crush him together rather than unfold his many blooms.
What's his name and birth?
I cannot delve him to the root. His father was called Cecilius, who did join his honor against the Romans with Cymbeline. He served with glory and admired success. So gained his erudition Leonatus. His gentle lady, deceased as he was born, for which his father, then old and fond of his wife, took such sorrow that he quit breed. The king, he takes the babe to his protection, calls him Posthumus Leonatus, breeds him, and makes him of his bedchamber. Which where it is to do, most praised, most loved, sample to the youngest, to the more mature, a glass that feedeth there, and to the graver a child that guided dotaries. To his mistress, for whom he now is banished, her own price proclaims how she esteemed him, and his virtue. By her election may be truly read what kind of man he is.
I honor him, even out of your report. But pray you tell me, is she sole child to the king?
His only child. He had 2 sons. If this be worth your hearing, mark it. The eldest of them at 3 years old, In the swain enclosed the other, from their nursery were stolen, and to this hour no guessed knowledge which way they went.
How long is this ago?
Some 15 years.
That a king's children should be so conveyed, so slackly guarded, and the search so slow that could not trace them?
Howsoever 'tis strange, or that the negligence may well be laughed at, yet 'tis true.
I do well believe it.
No, daughter, be assured you will not find me. After the slander of most stepmothers, evil I am to you. You're my prisoner, yet your jailer shall deliver you the keys that lock up your restraint. As for you, Posthumus, so soon as I can win the offended king, I will become your advocate Mary. Yet the fire rages in him, and 'twere good you leaned unto his sentence with what wisdom your patience may inform you.
Please, your highness, I will from hence today.
You know the peril. I'll fetch a turn about the garden, pitying the pangs of barred affections, though the king hath charged you to not speak together.
Oh, dissembling courtesy! How fine this tyrant may tickle where she wounds. My dearest husband, I something fear my father's wrath, but nothing. Always reserved his holy duty, what his rage can do unto me. You must be gone, and I shall here abide the hourly shot of angry eyes. Not comforted to live, but that there is this jewel in the world that I may see again.
My queen, my mistress, O lady, weep no more, lest I give cause to be suspected of more tenderness than doth become a man. My residence in Rome at one Philarmonus, thither rides my queen, and with mine eyes I'll drink the words he said, till evening may withal.
Be brief, I pray you. If the king come, I will incur I know not how much of his displeasure. Yet I'll move him to walk this way. I never do him wrong, but he does buy my injuries. To be friends pays dear for my offenses.
Should we be taking leave as long a term as we have yet to live? The loathness to depart would grow. Adieu.
Nay, stay a little. For you were riding forth to air yourself, such parting were too petty. Look here, love. This diamond was my mother's. Take it, heart, and keep it till you woo another wife, when Imogen is dead.
How? How, another? You gentle gods, give me but this I have, and sear at my embracements from annexed with bonds of death. Remain thou here while sins can keep it on. And sweetest, fairest, as I my poor self did exchange for you to your so infinite loss, so in our trifles I still win of you. For my sake what it is a manacle of love. I'll place it upon this fairest prisoner.
Oh, the gods, when shall we see again?
Elect the king!
Thou basest thing! A boy, hence from my sight! If after this command thou fraught the court with thy unworthiness, thou diest! Away! Thou art a poison to my blood!
The gods protect you, and bless the good remainders of the court! I am gone!
There cannot be a pinch in death more sharp than this is.
Oh, disloyal thing! Thou that shouldst repair my youth! Thou heapest a year's age on me!
I beseech you, sir, harm not yourself with your vexations. I am senseless of your wrath. A touch more rare subdues all pangs, all fears.
Past grace, obedience!
Past hope and in despair, that way past grace.
That mightst have had thee sole son of my queen!
Oh, blessed that I might not! I chose an eagle and did avoid a punch.
Thou tookest a beggar! Wouldst have made my throne a seat for baseness!
No, I simply added a luster to it!
Oh, the vile one!
Sir, it is your fault that I have loved Posthumus. You bred him as my playfellow. Oh, and he is a man worth any woman, overbuys me almost the sum he pays.
Art thou mad?
Almost, sir. Heaven restore me. Would I were a neatherd's daughter, and my Leonatus our neighbor shepherd's son.
Thou foolish thing! They were again together. You have done not after our command. Away with her, and pen her up!
Beseech your patience. Peace!
Dear lady daughter, peace!
Your Grace, leave us to ourselves, and make yourself a comfort out of your best advice.
Nay, let her languish, a drop of blood a day, and therefore being aged, die of this folly.
Fie, you must give way! Here comes your servant. How now, sir, what news?
My lord your son drew upon my master.
I pray no harm is done.
There might have been, but that my master rather played than fought and had no help of anger. They were parted by gentleman in hand.
I'm very glad on it.
I would they were in Afric both together. Myself I with a needle would prick the goer back. What came you from your master?
On his command. He would not suffer me to bring him to the haven. Left these notes of what commands I should be subject to when it please you to employ me.
About some half hour hence. I pray you speak with me. You must at least go see my lord aboard. For this time, leave me.
My shirt were bloody, but to shift it. Have I hurt him?
No, think. Not so much as his patient.
Hurt him? His body's a passable carcass, if he be not hurt. It is a third fare for steel, if it be not hurt.
He still was in debt. Went on the backside of the town.
The villain would not stand me.
No, but he fled forward still, toward your face.
Stand you? You have land enough of your own. But he added to your having, gave you some ground.
I would they had not come between us.
So would I, but you didn't know how a fool you were upon the ground.
And that she should love this fellow, and refuse me.
If it be a sin to make a true election, she is dead.
Sir, as I told you always, her beauty and her brain go not together. She's a good sign, but I have seen small reflection of her wit.
She shines not upon fools, lest the reflection should burn.
Come! Onto my chamber. Would there have been some hurt done?
I wish not so, lest it been the fall of an ass, which is no great hurt.
You'll go with us.
Well, I'll attend your lordship.
Nay, come. Let's go together.
Oh, my lord!
I would have cruised unto the shores of the haven and questioned every sail if he should write and not have it. 'Twere paper lost his offered mercy is. Is that the last he spake to me?
It was his queen. His queen.
And waved his handkerchief.
And kissed it, madam.
Senseless linen happier therein than I. Is that all?
No, madam. For so long as he could make me with his eye or ear distinguish him from others, he did keep the deck, with glove or hat or handkerchief, still waving as the fits and stirs of his mind could best express how slow his soul sailed on, how swift his ship.
Thou shouldst have made him as little as a crow or less, ere left to outdrive him.
Madam, so I did.
I would have broke mine eye strings, cracked them, but to look upon him, till the diminution of space had pointed him sharp as my needle, nay, followed him, till he had melted from the smallness of a gnat to air, and turned mine eye and wept. But, good Pisanio, when shall we hear from him?
Be assured, madam, with his next vantage.
I did not take my leave of him, but had most pretty things to say. father, and like the tyrannous breathing of the north shakes our buds from growing.
The queen desires your highness's company.
Those things I bid you do, get them dispatched. I will attend them.
Madam, I shall.
Sir, I have seen him in Britain. He was then of crescent nose, though the catalogue of his endowments were tabled by his side, and I to peruse him by idle.
You speak of him when he was less furnished than now. He's with that which makes him both without and within.
I have seen him in France. There are very many there. Could behold the sun with as firm eyes as he.
This matter of marrying his king's daughter, wherein he must be weighed rather by her value than his, words him, I doubt not, a great deal from the matter.
Then his banishment.
Aye, and the approbation of those that weep this lamentable divorce under her colors are wonderfully to extend him. Be it but to fortify her judgments, which else any easy babbery might lay flat, for taking a beggar without less quality. How is it he is to sojourn with you? How creeps acquaintance?
His father and I were soldiers together, to whom I have been often bound for no less than my life. Here comes the Briton. Let him be so entertained amongst you as suits, with gentlemen of your knowing, to a stranger of his quality. I beseech you all, be better known to this gentleman, whom I commend to you as a noble friend of mine. How worthy he is, I will leave to appear hereafter, rather than story him in his own hearing.
Sir, we have met in Orleans.
Since when I have been debtor to you for courtesies, which I will be ever to pay and yet pay still.
Sir, you overrate my poor kindness. I was glad I did atone my countrymen. And you, it had been pity you had been put together with so mortal a purpose, as then each bore a part importance of so slight and trivial a nature.
By your pardon, sir, I was then a young traveler, rather shunned to go with what I had heard, and in my every action to be guided by others' experiences. But upon my amended judgment, if I not offend to say it is amended, my quarrel was not altogether slight.
Faith? Yes. You put to the arbitrament of swords, of which all likelihood were confounded one the other, or would have fallen low.
Can we with manners ask what was the difference?
This gentleman, at the time, vouching upon warrant of bloody information, his mistress to be more fair, virtuous, wise, chaste, and constant, qualified, and less attemptable than any of our rarest ladies in France.
That lady is not now living, or this gentleman's opinion by this worn out.
She holds her virtue still, and I my mind.
You must not so far prefer hers for ours of Italy.
Being so far as provoked in France, I would abate her nothing, though I profess myself her adorer, not her friend.
As fair and as good, a kind of hand-in-hand comparison had been something too fair and too good for any lady in Britain, if she went before others that I have seen, as that diamond of yours, that lusters, and many I have beheld. I could not but believe she excelled many, but I have not seen this most precious diamond, that is, nor you the lady.
I praise her as I rated her, so do I my stone.
What do you esteem it at?
More than the world enjoys.
Either your unparagoned mistress is dead, or she is outprized by a trifle.
You are mistaken. The one may be sold or given, if there are wealth enough for the purchase or merit for the gift. The other is not a thing for sale, and only a gift of the gods.
Which the gods have given you,
Which, by their graces, I will keep.
you may wear her and title yours, but you know, strange now light upon neighboring ponds, your ring may be stolen too. So your brace of unprizable estimation, the first but frail, the other casual. a cunning thief, or that way an accomplished courtier would hazard the winning of both first and last.
Your Italy contains none so accomplished a courtier to convince the honor of my mistress. If, in the holding or loss of that, you turn her frail, I do nothing doubt you have score of thieves. Notwithstanding, I fear not my ring.
Let us leave here, gentlemen.
Sir, with all my heart, this worthy senor, I thank him, makes no stranger of me.
With 5 times so much conversation, I should get fair ground of your mistress, make her go back even to the yielding. Had I admittance and opportunity to friend.
No, no.
I dare thereupon pawn the moiety of my estate to that your ring, which in my opinion overvalues it something. But I make my wager rather against your confidence than her reputation. And to bar your offense hereinto, I durst attempt it against any lady in the world.
You are a great deal abused in too bold persuasion. I doubt not you sustain what you're worthy of by your attempt.
What's that?
A repulse! Though your attempt, as you call it, deserved more. A punishment too.
Gentlemen, enough of this. It came in too suddenly. Let it die as it was born. And I pray you, be better acquainted.
Would I put my neighbors and my estate on the approbation of what I spoke?
What lady would you choose to assail?
Yours, whom in constancy you think stands so safe. I will lay you 10,000 ducats to your ring. Commend me to the court where your lady is, and I, with only an opportunity of a second conference, will bring from thence that honor of hers which you imagine so reserved.
I will wage against your gold. Gold to it. My ring I hold as dear as my finger. 'Tis part of it.
You are afraid, and therein the wiser. If you buy lady's flesh at 1,000,000 drachms, you cannot preserve it protecting.
This is but a custom in your tongue. You bear a graver purpose, I hope.
I am the master of my speeches, and will undergo what's spoken, I swear.
Will you? I shall but lend my diamond till your return. Let there be covenants drawn between us. My mistress exceeds in goodness the hugeness of your unworthy thinking. I dare you to this match. Here's my ring.
I will have it no lay.
By the gods, it is one. If I bring you no sufficient testimony that I have enjoyed the dearest bodily part of your mistress, this your ring, she your ring, and my gold are yours, provided I have your commendation for my more free entertainment.
I embrace these conditions. Let us have articles betwixt us.
Your hand, a covenant. We will have these things set down by lawful counsel and straight away for Brittany.
Agreed.
Will this hold, think you? Signor Iachimo will not from it. Pray, let us follow him.
Doctor, thou askest me such a question. Have I not been thy pupil long? Hast thou not learned me to make perfumes, distill, preserve? Yea, so that our great king himself doth woo me off for my confections. Having thus far proceeded, unless thou thinkest me devilish, is it not meet that I did amplify my judgment and other conclusions? I will try the forces of these thy compounds on such creatures as we count not worth the hanger, but none human, to try the vigor of them, and apply a layer payments to their act, and therefore gather their several virtues and effects.
Your Highness, shall from this practice what may hard your heart. Besides, the seeing these effects would be both noisome and infectious.
Oh, content thee.
I do suspect you, madame, but you shall do no harm.
Your service for this time is ended, Doctor. Take your own way.
I do not like her. She doth think she has strange, lingering poisons. I do know her spirit and will not trust one of her malice with drugs of such damned nature. Those she has stupefied and all the sense a while, which first perchance she'll prove on cats and dogs, then afterward a fire. There is no danger, but show of death they make. The locking of the spirits at times to be more fresh, reviving. She is fooled with the most false effect, and I, true, so to be false with her.
No further service, Doctor, until I send for thee.
I humbly take my leave, bitch.
Father cruel and a stepdame false, a foolish suitor to a wedded lady that hath her husband banished. Oh, that husband, my supreme crown of grief and those repeated vexations of it. Had I been thief stolen as my two brothers, happy. But most miserable is the desire of its glory. Blessed be those how means so wear that have their honest wills which sees its comfort. Who may this be? Fine.
Madam, a noble gentleman from Rome comes from my lord with letters.
Change ye, madam. The worthy Leonatus is in safety, and greet your highness dearly.
Thank you, good sir. You're kindly welcome.
All of her that is out of door most rich. If she be furnished with a mind so rare, she is alone the Arabian bird, and I have lost the wager. Boldness be my friend, army audacity from head to foot.
He is one of the noblest known, to whose kindness I am most infinitely tired. Reflect upon him accordingly, as you value your trust. Leonatus. You are as welcome as I have words to bid you, and shall find it so in all that I can do.
Thanks, fairest lady. What? Are men mad? Hath nature given them eyes to see this vaulted arch, and the rich crop of sea and land? Which can distinguish twixt the fiery orbs above, and the twin stones upon the numbered beach? And can we not partition make with spectacles so precious twixt fair and foul?
What's the matter, Trow?
The cloyed will, that satiated yet unsatisfied desire. That tub, both filled and running. Ravening first the lamb, longs after for the garbage.
What, dear sir, this wraps you? Are you well?
Thanks! Well, madam. Beseech you, sir. Desire my man where I did leave him. He is strange and peevish.
I was going, sir, to give him welcome.
Continues well, my lord. His health beseech you.
Well, madam.
Oh, is he disposed to mirth? Oh, I hope he is.
Exceeding pleasant, none a stranger, so merry and so gamesome. He is called the Britain reveler.
When he was here, he did incline to sadness, and oft times not knowing why.
I never saw him sad. There is a Frenchman, his companion, one eminent monsieur that it seems much loves a galleon girl at home. He furnaces the pick size from him, whiles a jolly Briton, your lord I mean, laughs from free lungs, cries, "Oh, can my sides hold to think that man knows what woman is, yea, but what she cannot choose but to be? Will his free hours languish for shirt bondage?"
What's my lord say so?
I, madam, with his eyes in flood with laughter. It is a recreation to be by and hear him mock the Frenchman, but heaven knows some men are much to blame.
Not here.
Not he. but yet heaven bounties toward him might be used more thankfully. In himself 'tis much, but in you, which I count beyond his all talents, whilst I am bound to wonder, I am bound to pity too.
What do you pity, sir?
2 creatures, heartily.
Am I one, sir? You look on me, what wreck discern you in me deserves your pity.
Lamentable what? To hide me in the dungeon by a snuff from the radiant sun in solace.
I pray you, sir, deliver with more openness your answers to my demands. Why do you pity me?
That others do. What I was meant to say, enjoy your... But it is an office for the gods to venge it, not mine to speak on.
You do seem to know something of me, or what concerns me, pray you. Since doubling things go, it often hurts more than to be sure that they do. Discover to me why you both spur and stop.
Had I this cheek to bathe my lips, this hand whose touch, whose every touch would force the feeler's soul to the oath of loyalty, this object which takes prisoner the wild motion of my eye, fixing it only here, should I, damned then, slaver with lips as common as the stairs that mount the Capitol, join gripes with hands made hard with hourly falsehood as with labor, then by peeping in an eye, base and unlustrous as a smoky light that's fed with the stinking tallow, it were fit that all the plagues of hell should encounter such revolt.
Let me hear no more.
Oh, dearest soul, your cause thus struck my heart with pity, that doth make me sick. A lady so fair and fastened to empery would make the greatest king double. Such boiled stuff, as well might poison. Be revenged, or she that bore you was no queen, and you recoiled from your great stock.
Revenged? How should I be revenged? If this be true, as I have such a heart that both mine ears must not be subused, if this be true, how should I be revenged?
Should he make me live like Dian's priest betwixt cold sheets, while he is vaulting variable ranks, in your despite, upon your purse, revenge it. I dedicate myself to your sweet pleasure, more noble than that renegade to your bed, and will continue fast to your affections, still close and sure.
Oh, Pisanio!
Let me my service tender on your lips.
Away! Oh, I do condemn mine ears that have so long attended thee. If thou wert honorable, thou wouldst have told this tale for virtue, not for such an end thou seekest as base as strange. Thou wrongest a gentleman, who is as far from thy report as thou from honor, and solicits here a lady who disdains thee and the devil alike. What help, Pisanio? The king, my father, shall be made acquainted of thy assault. What help, Pisanio?
Oh, happy Leonatus! I may say that the lady hath of thee deserves thy trust, and thy most perfect goodness her should credit. Oh, a lady to the worthiest sir that every country calls his, and you his mistress. Oh, only for the most worthiest fit. Give me your pardon. I speak this to know if your finds were deeply rooted, and will make your lord that which he is new o'er, and truest manner. Oh, he is such a holy witch that he enchants societies into him. Half all men's hearts are his.
You make amends.
He sits amongst men like a descended god. He hath the kind of honor that sets him off, and not by mortal seeming. Oh. Pray your pardon.
All's well, sir. Take my power in the corridor.
My humble thanks. I had almost forgot to entreat your highness in but a small request, for it concerns your lord, and myself and other friends are partners in the business.
Pray, what is it?
Some Romans of us and your lord, the best feather of our wing, have mingled sums together to buy a present for the emperor, and me, the actor for the rest, which have done of rich and exquisite form, being curious to have them in safe stowage. Would it please you to take them in protection?
Willingly. And since my lord hath interest in them, I will keep them in my bedchamber.
They are in a trunk, attended by my men. I will make bold to send them to you only for this night. I must aboard tomorrow.
I thank you for your pains.
Such luck. When I kissed the jack, upon an upcast to be hit away, I had 100 pound on it, and then a horse and jackanapes must take me up for swearing, as if I'd borrowed my notes of him, and might not spend them at my pleasure.
What got he by that? You have broke his pate with your bowl.
If it would have been like him that broke it, it would have run all out.
When a gentleman is disposed to swear, it is not for any standers by to curtail himself, huh?
No, my lord. Nor crops the ears of them.
Horse and a dog. I give him satisfaction when he had been one of my rank.
You have smelled like a fool.
I am not vexed at any one thing in the earth. A pox on it. I'd rather not be so noble as I am. They dare not fight with me, because the queen, my mother. Every jackslave hath his belly full of fighting, and I must go up and down like a cock that nobody can match.
You are a cock and captain too. And you crow, cock, with your comb on.
Sayest thou?
It is not fit your lordship should undertake every companion you give offense to.
No, I know that. But it is fit I should commit offense to my inferiors.
It is fit for your lordship only.
Why, so I say.
Did you hear of a stranger that's come to court tonight?
A stranger? Did I not know one?
Yeah. Stranger fellow himself and knows it not.
There's an Italian come, and 'tis thought one of Leonatus' friends.
Leonatus, a banished rascal, and he's another whatsoever he be. Who told you of this stranger?
One of your lordship's pages.
Is it fit I went to look upon him? Is there no derogation in it?
You cannot derogate, my lord.
Not easily, I think.
You are a fool granted. Therefore your issues, being foolish, do not derogate.
Come, I'll go see with this Italian. What I have lost today at bowls, I'll win tonight of him. Come, go.
I'll attend your lordship.
That such a crafty devil as his mother should yield the world this ass. A woman that bears all down with her brain, and this, her son, cannot take 2 from 20 for his heart, and leave 18. Alas, poor princess, thou divine Imogen, would thou betwixt endurest a father by thy step-dame governed, a mother hourly coining plots, a wooer, more hateful than the foul expulsion of thy dear husband than that act of divorce he'll make. The heavens hold firm, the walls of thy dear honor keep unshaken that temple, thy fair mind, that thou mayest stand to enjoy this vanished lord and this great land.
such pictures. Ah, there at the window. Such the adornment of her bed. But some natural notes about her body first. Above 10,000 meter movable bone, which my testimony. Sleep that wave of death, lie dull upon her, and be her sense as a monument, thus in a chapel lying. As slippery as the Gordian knot was hard, this will witness outwardly as strongly as conscience does within. To the maddening of her lord, on her left breast, a mole sinks spotted, like the crimson drops in the bottom of a cowslip. Here is a voucher stronger than ever law could make. This secret will make her lord think I have picked the lock and taken of her treasure, of her honor. No more. To what end? Why should I write this down? It's riveted in my memory. I have enough. To the trunk again, and shut the spring of it. Swift, swift, you dragons of the night. That drawing may bear the raven's eye. Though I fear and laud, this a heavenly angel. Hell is here. One, two, three. Time.
So late, but that's the reason I was up so early. Will she be awake? I'll speak with her. If not, until I still and dream. Come on, two! You can penetrate her with your fingering, so. Or try with tongue, too. If none will do, let her remain, but I'll never give over.
How? My good name? Or shall I
Tomorrow, fairest sister. Oh, your sweet hand.
Good morrow, sir. You lay out too much pains for purchasing with trouble. Thanks I give is telling you I am poor of thanks and scarce to spare them.
Oh, but still, I swear I love you.
If you spare still, your recompense is still that I regard it not.
But this is no answer.
But that you shall say I yield being silent, I would not speak. Pray you spare me. Faith I shall unfold equal discourtesy to your best kindness.
To leave you in your madness toward my sin, I will not.
Fools are not mad folks.
What do you call me fool?
As I am mad, I do. If you'll be patient, I'll no more be mad. This cures us both. I am much sorry, sir. You put me to forget a lady's manners by being so verbal. But learn now for all that I, which know my heart, do here pronounce by the very truth of it, I care not for you, and am so mere the lack of charity to accuse myself. I hate you, which I had rather you felt than make it my boast.
You sin against obedience, which you owe your father. The contract you pretend with that base wretch, one bred of alms and fostered with cold dishes and scraps of the court. It is no contract, none. And though it be allowed in neither parties, yet you are cured from that enlargement by the consequence of the crown, and must not soil the precious note of it with a base slave. At Hildy, for a livery, a squire's cloth, a pantler, not so eminent.
Art thou the son of Jupiter? What thou art besides, thou art too base to be his groom. Thou wert dignified enough, even to the point of envy, to be made inherited for his virtues, to be styled the underhangman of his kingdom, and hated for being preferred so well.
Southpaw rot him!
He never can meet more mischance than to come to be the name of thee. His meanest garment that ever hath clipped his body is dearer in my respect than all the hairs above thee, were they all made such men. How thou, Pisanio?
His meanest garment!
No, the devil! With Dorothy, my woman, presently.
His garment!
I am frightened, fool. Frightened and angered worse. Go with my woman, search for a jewel that you casually have left mine arm. Oh, it was my master. Shrew me if I should lose it for any of the kings from Europe. Do you think I saw it this morning? Confident I am last night 'twas on mine arm. I kissed it.
'Twill not be lost.
You have abused me, his meanest garment.
I said so, sir, and if thou make it in action, call witness to it.
I will inform your father.
Your mother, too.
I will be revenged. His meanest garment. Well.
While yet the dews on the ground, gather those flowers. Make haste, who has the note of them.
Aye, madam.
Dispatch. Here comes a flattering rascal. Upon him will I first work. He's for his master, an enemy to my son. How now, Pisanio, hark thee, a word? Weeps she still?
Aye, madam.
Dost thou think in time she will not quench and let instructions enter where folly now possesses? Do thou work. When thou hast brought me word she loves my son, I'll tell thee on the instant thou art as great as is thy master greater. For his fortunes all lie speechless, and his name is at last gasp. Return he cannot, nor continue where he is. To shift his being is to exchange one misery with another, and each day that comes to decay a day's work in him. What canst thou expect? We depend on a thing that leaves, who cannot be new built, and has no such friends but as to prop him. Oh, thou takest up, thou knowest not what, but take it for thy labor. It is a thing I made which hath the king 5 times redeemed from death. I do not know what is more cordial, nay, I prithee. Take it, a further good I mean to thee.
Tell thy mistress how the case stands with her, but do it as from thyself. Thinkest what a chance thou changest on? Thou hast thy mistress still to boot, my son who shall take notice of thee, and I myself, I'll move the king to any shape as thou desire, and then I chiefly am bound to load thy merit richly. Oh, my women, think on my words. A sly and constant knave, not to be shaped, the agent for his master, and the remembrancer of her to hold the hand fast to her lord. I have given him that which, if he shall take, will quite unleisure her of peoples for her suite, and, except she bend her humor, shall be assured the taste of two. So, well done, well done! The violets, cowslips, primroses, bear to my closet. Fare thee well, Pisanio. Think on my words.
You shall do. But when to my good lord I prove untrue, I'll choke myself. That's all I'll do for you.
Fear not, sir. I would I was so short to win the king, as I am bold her honor will remain hers.
What means do you make to him?
Not any. But if I will change in time, wake in the present winter state, and wish that warmer days would come, when these seared hopes they barely gratifying your love, I must die much you better.
Your very goodness and your kindness o'erpays all I can do. By this your king hath heard of great Augustus. Caius Lucius will do his commission thoroughly, and I think he'll grant the tribute. Send the arrearages, or look upon our Romans, whose remembrance is yet fresh in their grief.
I do believe, status though I am none nor like to be, that this will prove a war.
See Iachimo.
The swiftest hearts have posted you by land, and winds of all corners kissed your sails to make your vessel nimble.
Welcome, sir.
I hope the briefness of your answer mean the speediness of your return.
Your lady is one of the fairest I have looked upon.
And therewithal the best. Or let her beauty look through a casement to allure false hearts, and be false with them.
Here are letters for you.
But are good, I trust.
'Tis very like.
Was Caius Lucius in the Britain court when you were there?
He was expected, but not approached.
All is well yet. Sparkles the stone as it was wont, or is it not too dull for your good wearing?
If I had lost it, I should have lost the worth of it in gold. I'll make a journey twice as far to enjoy a second night of such sweet shortness, which was mine in Britain. For the ring is won.
Comes too hard to come by.
Not a whit your lady being so easy.
Make it not, sir. Your loss, your sport. I hope you know we must not continue friends.
Good sir, we must, if you keep covenant. Had I not brought this knowledge of your woman home, I grant we were to question further. But now I profess myself the winner of her honor, and not of the wronger of her or you, but having proceeded but by both your wills.
If you can make it apparent that you have tasted her in bed, my hand and ring is yours. If not, the foul opinion you had of her pure honor gained to lose is your sword or mine, or masterless least both to who shall find them.
Sir, my circumstances being so near to the truth as I will make them would induce you to believe whose strength I will confirm with oath.
Proceed.
First, her bedchamber, where I confess I did not sleep. The chamber, hanged with tapestries of silk and silver. The story of proud Cleopatra and her Romans so bravely outdone, so rich.
This is true. This you may have heard of here by me, or by some other.
Sir, more particulars must justify my knowledge?
So they must, or to your honor injury.
Then, if you can, be pale. I beg but leave this jewel to air. See, and now 'tis up again. He must be married to that your diamond. I will have them both.
Jove, once more let me behold it. Is it that which I left with her?
Sir, I thank her that she stooped it from her arm. I see her yet. Her pretty action did outsell her gift, and yet enriched it too. She gave it me and said she prized it. Once.
Maybe she put it off to send it me.
She writes you so, doth she?
No. 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 Oh, no, 'tis true. Here, take this too. There's a basilisk unto mine eye, kills me to look on it. Let there be no honor where there is beauty, truth where semblance, love where there's another man. The basil women of no more bondage be than to where they are made, than they are to their virtues, which is nothing. Oh, measure false.
Have patience, sir, and take your ring again. 'Tis not yet won. It may be probable she lost it, or who knows if one of her women, being corrupted, has stolen it from her.
Very true. And so I hope he came by it. Back my ring. Render to me some corporal sign more evident than this, for this was stolen.
By Jupiter, I had it from her arms.
Hark you, he swears. By Jupiter, he swears! 'Tis true, nay, keep the ring, 'tis true. She would not lose it. Her attendants are all sworn and honorable. They induced to steal it, and by a stranger, no, he hath enjoyed her. The cognizance of her incontinency is this. She hath bought the name of whore thus dearly. There, take thy hire, and all the fiends of hell divide themselves between you.
Sir, be patient. This is not strong enough to be believed.
Never talk on it! She hath been Cloten by him!
If you seek for further satisfying, under her breast, worthy of pressing, lies a mole, right proud of that most delicate lodging. By my life, I kissed it. It gave me present hunger. Though full to feed again, you remember the stain upon her.
Aye. And it doth confirm another stain as big as hell can hold, where there no more but it.
Will you hear more?
Spare your arithmetic! Never count the turns once in a million.
I'll be swearing.
No swearing. If you swear you have not done it, you lie, and I will kill thee. If thou dost deny, thus make me cuckold.
I'll deny nothing.
That I had her here to tear her the heel. I will do it in the court before her father. I'll do something.
Quite besides the government of patience, you have won. Let's follow him and pervert the present that he has against himself.
With all my heart.
Is there no way for men to be, but women must be half workers? We are all bastards. And that most venerable man which I did call my father, was I know not where when I was stamped. Some coiner with his tools made me a counterfeit. Yet my mother seemed the Diana of that time, so doth my wife the Nonpareil of this. Oh, vengeance. Vengeance! This yellow Iachimo. In an hour. Was it not? Or less. At first. Perchance he spoke not, but like a full acorn boar, a German one, cried "Oh!" and mounted, found no opposition to what he looked for should oppose, but she should from encounter guard. Could I find out the woman's part in me? For there's no motion that tends to vice in man, but I affirm it is the woman's part. Be it lying, note it, the woman's flattery, hers, deceiving, hers, lust and rank thoughts, hers, revenge is hers, ambitions, covetings, change of pride, disdain, nice longings, slanders, mutability, all faults that may be named, nay, that hell knows why hers! In part, or all, but rather all. I'll write against them, detest them, curse them, for 'tis greater skill and a true hate than to pray they have their will. The very devils cannot plague them better.
How? Of adultery. Wherefore write you not what monsters her accuser? Leonatus, master, what a strange infection has fallen into thy ear. What false Italian has poisoned tongue and hand had prevailed on thy too ready hearing? Disloyal? No! She's punished for her truth, and undergoes more goddess-like and wife-like such assault as would take in some virtue. Oh, Leonatus, oh, my master. Thy mind to her is now as low as were thy fortunes. How? That I should murder her, upon the love and truth and vows which I have made to thy command. I her blood. If it be so to do good service, never let me be counted serviceable. How look I, that should seem to lack humanity so much as this fact comes to?
I have assailed her with music, but she vouchsafes no notice.
The exile of her minion is too new. Some more time must wear the print of his remembrance out, and then she's yours.
You must let go by no vantages that would prefer you to the king's daughter. Frame yourself to orderly soliciting, and be friended with the aptness of the season. Make denials, increase your services, so seem as if you in all were inspired to do those duties you tender to her, that you in all obey her, except when command to your dismiss intends, and therein you are senseless.
But senseless? Not so!
So like you, sir. Ambassadors from Rome. The one is Caius Lucius.
A worthy fellow. Albeit he comes on angry purpose now. That's no fault of his. We must receive him according to the honor of the sender. Now, what would Augustus Caesar with us?
When Julius Caesar, whose remembrance yet lives in men's eyes and will to ears and tongues, be theme in hearing ever, was in this Britain, and conquered it. Cymbeline, thine uncle, famous in Caesar's praises, no whit less in the feats deserving it, for him in his succession granted Rome a tribute, yearly 3,000 pounds, which by thee lately has been left untendered.
And to kill the marvel shall be so ever.
There be many such Caesars, ere such another Julius. Britain is a world by itself, and we will nothing pay for wearing our own noses.
Remember, sir, my liege, the kings your ancestors, along with the natural bravery of your isle, ribbed and paled with rocks unscalable, and roaring waters which will not bear your enemies' boats, but suck them up to the top mast. A kind of conquest Caesar made here. It came at his brag of came, or saw, or overcame with shame the first that ever touched him. He was carried from off our coast, twice beaten, and his shipping, poor
ignorant baubles upon our terrible seas, moved against our surges, cracked as easily against our rocks. For joy whereof the famed Cymbeline made Ludstown with rejoicing fires bright, and Britain strut with courage.
Come! There's no more tribute to be paid. As I said before, our kingdom is stronger than it was at the time, and there is no more such Caesars. Others of them may have crooked noses, but to owe such straight arms, none. There be many among us can gripe as hard as Cymbeline. I do not say I am one, but I have a hand. Why tribute? Why should we pay tribute? If Caesar can hide the sun from us with a blanket, or put the moon in his pocket, we will pay him tribute for light. Else, sir, no more tribute. Pray you now.
You must know, till the injurious Romans did extort this tribute from us, we were free. Caesar's ambition, which swelled so much that it did almost stretch the sides of the world, against all color here did put the yoke upon us, which to shake off becomes a warlike people, whom we reckon ourselves to be. Say then to Caesar, our ancestor was that Lucius, who ordained our laws, whose use the sword of Caesar hath too much mangled, and whose repair and franchise shall by the power we hold be our good deed, though Rome be therefore angry. Lucius made our laws, who was the first of Britain who did put his brows within a golden crown and called himself a king.
I am sorry, Cymbeline, that I am to pronounce Augustus Caesar. Caesar that hath more kings his servants than thyself, domestic officers, thine enemy. Receive it from me then, war and confusion. In Caesar's name I pronounce I am against thee. Look for fury, not to be resisted. Thus, defy. I thank thee for myself.
Thou art welcome, Caius. Thy Caesar knighted me. Much of my youth I spent under him, and of him I gathered honor. And to seek of me again perforce behoves keep me at utterance. I am perfect that the Pannonians and the Dalmatians for their liberties on our arms. A precedent which not to read will show the Britons' coast. And so Caesar shall not find them.
Let proof speak.
I know thy master's pleasure, and he mine. All the remain is welcome.
Do it. The letter that I have sent her by her own command shall give the opportunity. Damn paper. Black as the ink that's on me. Senseless bauble, art thou a fettery for the sack that looks so virgin-like without? Lo, here she comes. I am ignorant of what I have commanded.
How now, Pisanio?
Madam, here is a letter from my lord.
Who? Thy lord? That is thy lord Leonatus. How learned indeed were the astronomers that knew the stars design his characters, how late the future opened. You good gods, that what is your contained relish and love of my lord's health, of his content, all but in that. Good wax thy leave. Blessed be you bees who make these locks with counsel. Lovers and men in dangerous bonds pray not alike. No forfeiters you cast in heaven while you clasp young Cupid's tables. Good news, gods. Justice in your father's wrath, should he take me in his dominion, could not be so cruel to me. Take notice that I am a Cambria at Milford. What your own love will out of this advise you follow. He wishes you all happiness, that remains loyal to his vow, and your increasing in love, Leonatus. Hearest thou, Pisanio, his at Milford hated? Read, and tell me how far 'tis thither. If one in mean affairs may plod in a week, why may not I glide thither in a day? Then, true Pisanio, tell me how Wales was made so happy as to inherit such a haven. I prithee speak. How many score miles may we well ride twixt hour and hour?
1 score, madam, but sun and sum's enough for you. Too much, too.
Oh, one to his execution, man could never go so slow. I've heard of riding wages where horses have been nimbler than the sand on the clock's behalf. But this is foolery. Go bid my woman feign a sickness. Say she'll home to her father, and provide me presently a riding suit no hasslier than would fit a Franklin's housewife.
Madam, your best, consider.
I see before me men, nor here, nor what ensues, but that there is a fog in them that I cannot look through. I prithee do as I bid thee. There's no more to say. Accessible is none but Milford Way.
Consider when you above perceive me like a crow, that it is a place which lessens and sets off. You may then revolve what tales I have told you. Of courts, of princes, of the tricks in war, and often to our comfort shall you find the sharded beetle in a safer hold than is the full-winged eagle. Ah, this life is nobler than attending for a check, richer than doing nothing for a bauble, prouder than rustling in unpaid for silk. Such gain the cap of him that makes them fine, yet keeps his book uncrossed, no left to ours.
Out of your proof to speak. We, poor unfledged, have never winged a view of the nest, nor know not what heirs come home. Happily, this life is best, if quiet life be best. Sweeter to you the house sharper no, well corresponding with your stiff age. But unto us it is a cell of ignorance, traveling a bed, a prison for a debtor that dares not to stride a limit. What should we speak of when we are old as you? How in this our pension cave, so we discourse freezing hours awake? We have seen nothing. We are beastly, subtle as the fox to prey, like warlike as the wolf what we eat. Our valor is to chase what flies. We sing our bondage freely, and as the prisoned bird, give into it.
How you speak? Did you but know the city's usuries and felt them knowingly? Boys, this story the world shall read in me. My body is marked with Roman swords, and my report was once best of note. Cymbeline loved me. And when soldier was the theme, my name was not far off. Then was I as a tree, whose boughs did bend with fruit. But in one night, a storm or robbery, call it what you will, shook down my mellow hangings, nay, my leaves, and left me bare to weather.
Uncertain fate,
my fault being nothing, as I have told you oft, that 2 villains, whose false oaths prevailed before my perfect honor, swore to Cymbeline I was confederate with the Romans. So followed my banishment. These 15 years, this rock, and these domestics have been my world, where I have lived at honest freedom, paid more pious debt to heaven than the all-for end of my time. But this is not hunter's language. Up to the mountains. He that strikes the venison first shall be lord of the feast. These boys know little, they are sons to the king. Nor does Cymbeline dream they are alive. They think they're mine. This Polydor, the heir of Cymbeline and Brittany and Jove. When on my 3-foot stool I sit and tell the warlike feats I have done, his spirit flies into my story and say, thus mine enemy fell, and thus I set my foot on its neck. Even then, princely blood flows in his cheeks. He sweats, strains his young nerves, and puts himself in posture that acts my words. The younger brother, Conwell, in as like a figure, strikes more life into my speech, much more than his conceiving. Hark, the game is roused. O Cymbeline, heaven and my conscience knows, thou didst unjustly banish me. Whereon I stole these babes, thinking to bar thee of succession as thou reft'st me of my lands. Eurythale, thou wast their nurse, they took for mother, and every day do honor to her grave. Myself, Belarius, that am Morgan called, they take for natural father. The game is up.
Where's Posthumus? What is in thy mind that makes thee stare thus? One painted thus would be interpreted a thing perplexed beyond self-explication. Why tenderest thou paper to me with a look untender? Speak, man! Thy tongue may take off some extremities, which to read would be even mortal to me.
Please you, read, and you shall find me, wretched man, a thing most disdained of fortune.
Thy mistress, Pisanio, hath laid the strumpet in my bed. I speak not out of weak surmises, but from proof as strong as my grief and as certain as I expect my revenge. That part, Pisanio, thou must act for me. Let thine own hands take away her life. I shall give thee opportunity at Milford Haven. She hath my letter for the purpose of, if you fear to strike and make certain to me it is done. Thou art a pander to her dishonor, and equally to me disloyal.
What shall I need to draw my sword? The paper hath cut her throat already. What cheer, madam?
False to his bed. What's false to his bed is it? To lie and watch there and think on him? To weep twixt clock and clock? If sleep charged nature to break it with a fearful dream and cry myself awake, that's false to his bed, is it?
Alas, good lady.
I false. Thy conscious witness Iachimo didst accuse him of incontinence. Then thou seemest a villain, but now methinks thy favors give me nothing. Some poor jay of Italy whose mother was his painting hath betrayed him. Poor. I am stale, a garment out of fashion. For so I am richer than to hang by the walls, I must be ripped to pieces with me. Oh, men's vows are women's traitors, all consuming in thy revolt. Oh, husband, whose thought put on for villainy, not born where it grows, but born of faith for ladies.
Good madam, hear me speak.
Come, fellow, be thou honest, do thy master's bidding when thou seest him a little witness my obedience. Look, I draw the sword myself. Take it, and hit the innocent mansion of my love, my heart. Fear not, 'tis empty of all things but grief. Do his bidding. Strike! Thou mayest be valiant in a better cause, but now thou seemest a coward.
Vile instrument! Thou shalt not dare my hand.
Why? I must die. And if not by thy hand, thou art no servant of thy masters! Against self-slaughter is a prohibition so divine it cravens my weak hand. Come. Here's my heart. Some things abhorred, stop. Stop. No more defines the scriptures of the loyal Leonatus altered to heresy. Away. Away, corrupters of my faith! You shall no more be stomachers to my heart! Where is thy knife? Thou art too slow to do thy master's bidding when I desire it too!
Oh, gracious lady, since I received command to do this business, I have not slept one wink.
Do it to bed,
awake my eyeballs first!
Wherefore then didst undertake it? Why hast thou abused so many miles with the pretense?
To win time, to lose so bad employment, in the which I had considered of a course. Good lady, hear me with patience.
Talk thy tongue wary. Speak, I have heard I am a strumpet. And mine ear false struck can take no greater wound, nor tend to bottom that. But speak.
It cannot be, but that my master is abused. Some villain, I am singular in his art, has done you both this cursed injury.
Some Roman courtesan.
No, on my life. I will give but notice you are dead, and send him some bloody sign of it. But 'tis commanded I should do so. You shall be missed at court, and that will well confirm it.
Why, good fellow, shall I do the where? Whereby? How live? And in my life, what comfort when I am dead to my husband?
If you will back to the court.
No, no court, no father, nor no more ado that harsh, noble, simple nothing that Cloten, whose lovesick to me have been as fearful as the sea.
If not at court, then not in Britain must you bide. Lucius the Roman comes to Milford Haven tomorrow. Now, if you could wear your mind, dark as your fortune is, and disguise that which but to appear itself must not yet be but by self-danger, you should tread a course pretty in full of view, yea, haply near the residence of Posthumus, so nigh at least, that though his actions were not visible, report should render him hourly to your ear as truly as he moves.
For such means, nor to thought it.
Well then, here's the point. You must forget to be a woman. Change command into obedience. Fear and niceness the handmaids of all women, or more truly, woman its pretty self, into a waggish courage, radiant guides, quick-answered, saucy and as querulous as the weasel. Nay, you must forget that rarest treasure of your cheek.
I see into thy end, and I'm almost a man already.
First, make yourself but like one. Forethinking this, I have already fit, 'tis in my cloak bag, doublet, hat, hose, all that answer to them. Would you in their serving, and with what imitation you can borrow from youth for a season, for noble Lucius present yourself. Desire his service. Tell him wherein you're happy, for he is honorable, and doubling that most holy. Your means abroad, you have me, rich, and I shall never fail beginning nor supplement.
You are all the comfort the gods will diet me with. This attempt I am soldier to, and will abide with the prince's courage. Away.
Well, madam, we must be taking a short farewell, lest being missed, I be suspected of your carriage from the court. My noble mistress, Here is a vial. I had it from the Queen. What's in it is precious. If you are sick at sea or stomach-qualmed at land, a drop of this will drive away distemper. To some shade, and fit you to your manhood. May the gods direct you to the best.